Let coin and drink flow. The Redwynes of the Arbor have ruled there for millennia. First men, sons of Gilbert of the Vyne, himself the son of the legendary Garth Greenhand. The Redwyne have provided transport services, naval superiority, and unmatched alcohol flowing freely. Located in the far southwest of both Westeros and the Reach, the Redwynes are long-standing allies of the Gardener Kings of the Reach, themselves descended from the eldest son of Garth the Green, Garth the Gardener. In the cursed year, a century after the doom of Valyria, a plague beset the Arbor Islands. Taking many commoners, it had already deeply infected the court. Now, left without a lord, the Goldwine family were on the verge of taking complete control over the dynasty, house, and the Arbor. Until one bastard soldier from Lys came forward, bearing proof of his lineage, the direct son of the now late Horace Redwyne. Born amidst a tryst between the lord on a trading voyage to Lys, he had left behind his shame. The boy, Red, was born of a girl of unspeakable beauty, some say the very image of old Valyrian stock. Sold into slavery and transported to the east, Red will not speak of what horrors he encountered there, only that he freed himself from his chains, and that claimed an eye, a hand, and a leg. Disabled thusly, he returns now to claim his heritage. A weak man, but brave in his heart, he seeks secretly to remove the so-called vassals of the island from power. They may scheme in their hearts to replace his newfound wealth with the lazy, indolent, and insolvent Goldwynes of Vinetown. You can only trust family, and Red intends to build a family to rival the greatest dynasties and revive the heritage of the first men of the Reach, but tempered with the experience of Valyrian parochialism and the Republican free cities. Welcome to the prep and prologue of Let Coin and Drink Flow, a Crusader Kings 3 Game of Thrones mod role-playing playthrough. Check the description section for more information about the patch, mods, and DLCs being used. We are going to build out young Lord Red today, and start his dynasty of House Vyne, a bastard house of the now somewhat deceased Redwynes. Starting in Aegon's Conquest bookmark, which is 101 years after the Doom. When Aegon Targaryen looks east, he sees the past, old, tired, dead. But when he looked west, he saw the future, gold in the ground, gold in the fields, and no dragons in the sky, but his. He and his sisters, Rhaenys and Visenya, flew over the great continent, ostensibly visitors to a strange land. But when Aegon returned, he ordered construction of a massive table, carved in the shape of Westeros, with all the notable rivers and mountains they had seen, a personal map of the 7 kingdoms, then ruled by 7 squabbling families. House Durrandon held the Stormlands from their seat at Storm's End, due south of Dragonstone. House Horror of the Iron Islands had also conquered and enslaved the Riverlands, ruling them from Harrenhal, a monstrous castle rising on the shore of the God's Eye. House Stark held the frozen wastelands of the north, the oldest, largest, and emptiest of kingdoms. House Lannister held the Westerlands, the wealthiest kingdom thanks to their gold mines. House Gardener held the Reach, the second wealthiest kingdom thanks to their crops. House Arryn held the Vale, or rather, the Vale held them. The mountains were impassable, except through the Bloody Gate, which had never been taken. House Martell held the deserts of Dorne, probably because no one else wanted them. Together, the 7 kingdoms made Westeros, a realm that wasn't yet a realm, ruled by great families who didn't know what greatness was. Aegon would teach them. Red is not a particularly pious man, but performatively for these Westerosi, he worships the Smith, who, on the face of things, shares many values with him. Republican values, a taste for stewardship. Speaking of, he himself is training to be a steward of the Arbor. A daunting task to go from slave to sailing boy to cook to freeman and now finally to noble master, responsible for vassals and answerable to a king. In fact, His line was once kings of the Arbor themselves. We also need a match for ourselves, and we settle on the incomparable Melrose Fossaway. Their house is anciently related to ours, and her cousin seems an honorable man. We can only hope our children are as smart as her. She seems a fine girl. The alliance, on paper, doubles the troop either of us can call in to aid in holding our lands. The Fossaways are also pushing against the borders of the villainous Peak family. The Peaks have long intermarried into the Redwynes, and there is a dire concern that their line may even now be scheming to claim primacy over my bastard claim. Even in Essos, the stories of their treachery against the Manderleys are legendary. We can watch each other's back against the lowest of the lows. We have a council, somewhat, and to ensure its continuation, we need to make sure that they get married and also have kids. This task is somewhat more difficult than expected. Our court is thin in numbers, and those from afar are not interested in joining us. And taking a look at traditions, we have some fine selections in regard to bonuses to trade ports and running farmlands. There are 2 additional reach-specific traditions that provide even more stacking bonuses to farmland, and we can only hope to study the families who practice it and pass that knowledge on to our own people. And, of course, one day we'd like to add parochialism and the Republican legacy of the Valyrian freehold colonies, where Red grew older in.